Hey, what's up? It's Dr. Memo from drmemogamboa.com here with another live webinar. Very in my home office in the Alsip area, by the way, and coming at you live. And what I do every Sunday, I know it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If you're watching the replay, happy Mother's Day. But what I do is basically share some knowledge that I have gained through taking courses and or being on other webinars. And then I'm really good at taking notes, so I'm just sharing my notes. I have a big giant thing of notes right here that I'm going to share with you. There goes my pencil. So today we're going to talk about handling objections, okay? And then one thing that might surprise you about how to quote unquote handle objections, okay? I have tons of objection handling stuff. So I might jump around. You might hear me say how to handle money, then you might hear me say how to handle money again. So just bear with me, okay? Because these are done by different people, and they may have different ways to do it, right? So okay. So without further ado, I want to just get right into the content because I do have a lot. So if you want to connect with me more, just go to my blog, drmemogamboa.com, and you can read all about me right there. I'm an optometrist by day and a marketer by night. Mostly like affiliate marketing, internet marketing, more so. And I'm currently in a network marketing company as well. Anyway, let's see. Closing your prospects. The main thing is, and I've heard this from all the courses I was on, is you want to manage the energy in the room. Ray Higdon talks about this a lot. I'm sure he'll talk about it in his prospecting summit that he's having that I'm not going to. Anyway, he talks about managing the energy in the room, so keep your posture, right? That doesn't mean be a jerk. That means stay confident, right? And realize, like, if you get someone negative, nasty, or someone pulling away from you, you pull away too, right? You don't try to, like, if they kind of like, oh, this thing is a scam, you don't go like, oh no, it's not, blah, blah, blah. You go, you know what, it's not, but it's probably not for you. And you walk away, and then they have to correct their posture, right? Make them correct their posture. So anyway, I just want to go through some specific objections. And objection handling is because you really want to just get rid of the maybes, right? A no is better than a maybe. A no is better than someone who says, well, who says one of these objections, because the last thing you want to do is waste time with people, right? Because time is more valuable than money. So that's why we do this, right? So I'm also fighting a flu. So if I pause to drink some water, please forgive me. Anyway, so here is the first one is I don't have the money, okay? So there is a couple ways to handle this, and one of them from Todd gets, they just ask a question right away. Answering questions doesn't help you close, okay? Answering questions doesn't help you close. Asking questions does. There's a distinction there, So answering people's questions, like knowing everything, every little detail about everything, doesn't really help you close, but asking questions does, because you get down to the root of what people really need, and that's your job, to fill the need, right? So I don't have the money, right? So I don't have the money. People say that all the time. I'm sure you're hearing it all the time. And we'll go over why you might be hearing that too, okay? But first, I just want to say, you had the money, would you get started? You would get started today, right? That's how Leah handles the objection. And if they say yes, well, how soon will you have the money? You want to ask you. You just want to get it. I mean, like, let's get an answer, right? We are trying to get an answer. Collect decisions, like Mark J says, right? So get a commitment and keep your posture, okay? So that is one way to handle I don't have the money, right? So I'm going to go through a few of these quickly, and then we're going in more detail, okay? So I don't have time, or how much time does it take, right? And ask them, how much time do you have? Like, ask them, well, how much time do you have, right? Because if you get clear on how much time they have, you can say, well, you can, build a business on 10 hours a week, and you want to get clear on exactly how much time they really have, right? Because a lot of times they have more time than they're saying. They just don't want to miss Dancing with the Stars, right? So again, you're not begging, you're not convincing, but if you feel like they really want to get in, again, you want to get a yes or a no, right? Let's see. And start. Let's see. Right now, the other thing about you don't have time, you're like, well, hey, you don't have time, but how is that serving you? what if you make time for this so you can, because right now, how much is your current situation helping you out, right? So just kind of point out the obvious to them. I like this one. This is the first time I ever heard this one about I have to ask my spouse. And Leah gets, she just told the story. Oh, okay. She was just like, so when you go to Home Depot and you get to the register and you start paying, and I don't have to look at my notes because I heard the story stuck in my head. And you start paying, when it gets to like $150, you say, oh, wait. I got to call my wife and see if I can buy the rest of this stuff. Is that what you do? Or I got to call my husband, And obviously the answer is no, so let's just get serious. Do you really want to do this, or you don't want to do this, right? It's basically how you do it, right? So you want to get decisions. Again, that's what your job is, and then she said also you can, if they're like, well, no, I really want to do it. Well, fine, instead of why don't we make a commitment to get an appointment to have her on or him on, and I'll show them exactly. So now you're talking to both of them, right? Instead of trying to like have a middleman there. Let's see. I need to think about it. There's most of your stuff. There's a 30-day guarantee. Some maybe you don't have a guarantee, but it's a good way to handle it. Is there's a 30-day guarantee. The best way to know is if it's for you is to get in, start trying it out. If it doesn't work out, doesn't work out. Worst case scenario, you get your money back before 30 days, right? So depending on what your product is. Let's see. I want to do some research first. So then she tells people, oh, so you believe everything you read on Google, right? You believe everything Google says, right? And you're going to find, and she tells them right up front, you're going to find crazy stuff, but there's no truth meter on Google, right? There's no truth meter. So there's no like, yes, this is true. It's why people, if you go on Google and type scam anything, you're going to find it. It ranks high. So like, is Mary Kay a scam? Is Beachbody a scam? Is Arbonne a scam? There's always people out there, some guy who lives in his mom's basement writing these things, so just, you have to kind of point that out to people because they don't realize it. They believe everything they read. So that's like, I'm an eye doctor and I hate Dr. Google. Yeah. And she said, oh, the spouse thing, commit to show your spouse in 24 hours, show the spouse 24 hours. The other thing you can say whenever they give you an objection is if you don't find value in this, that's fine. Just kind of move on from there. Failing to, remember, she just kind of point out, and Ray Higdon says this, by failing to close people, you're failing them because you have something that they can actually change their lives, right? And yes, not a lot of people actually change their lives in network marketing because they quit, right? And that's just really sad, actually. But by being someone who doesn't try to close them or try to help them see the value, you are not you can't help them. Then you're failing them. So try to keep that in mind. You're passing by people on the street every day who actually need it, and you're doing a disservice by keeping it to yourself. Ray Higdon said, even called it selfish, to be honest. So, all right. So let's see. And then speaking of Ray Higdon, I took one of his courses, and I'm going to skip some of the stuff because I went over closing last week. So you can go and check out last week's webinar. It's on YouTube already. So one of the things that happens a lot of times when you call somebody, let's say you call them, all right, so you called, they watched the video or they said they were gonna, and then one of the things you get is, oh, I didn't get to watch it, right? So you're like, oh, so and then they say, why don't you just tell me about it? And don't do that. As tempted as you are to spew your knowledge, I still mess up like that sometimes. Don't do it. He says you got to keep your posture. Okay, that's a big thing here. Manage the energy, keep your posture. Okay, that is your mantra, right? So he says, I have so many people that did watch it. I have to follow up with them and prioritize. If you want to watch it, I'd be more than happy to follow up with you once you watch it. Because let's see, because the reason we use that video is to explain everything in a super simple way and tell you if it's a fit for you or not. Even if I did explain it to you, I would still have you watch the video to see if it's a fit for you or not. If you like, I can follow up with you tomorrow at specific time, 4:25. How soon can you watch the video? You can always focus on generating more prospects. That's why you can't worry about people. And I did this in the beginning of network marketing. I was like, always like, one person would tell me they're going to watch the video, and then I was like, just like worried about that one person for the whole week. That's dumb. You know, you got to fill your calendar up with people, because people are flaky. They don't do what they say they're going to do. That's just the way it is. Maybe more so now than ever. Maybe I'm just becoming an old curmudgeon. I don't know. But the point is, you have to schedule the time and realize that your time is the most valuable. Okay, more valuable than your prospects. It's like their time is really valuable, and they might think that watching that video is a waste of time, but you have to show them that to you it's not. It's actually the most important thing. So let's see. Overcoming objections. So here it is. Overcoming objections. Learn to manage the energy. Many objections come from how you are being. Okay, not what you said, not what you do, not your video, not because your company is not that great, but because of how you are being. All right. So regardless of objection, manage the energy. Don't be addicted to the outcome. In other words, you don't care whether they join or not. You do, but you don't care to the point of like, oh my God, my life is over. All right. So let's see. What about this objection? How much are you making? He's hardly ever heard it, he said, even in the beginning, and part of that might be because if you're a little too hypey, if you're like, people are making millions of dollars in a matter of 6 months, or making 6 figures, 2 months into the business, they're making 6 figures. You can too. So if you get too hypey, you're going to hear, well, how much did you make? How much did you make your first month? So how much are you making, right? The other thing is because you look confident. You don't look confident. You look like, so you think you want to maybe join? It's really awesome. Maybe. No? I get it. No, you don't want to? That's okay. Yeah, it's fine. All right. So all we're doing is seeing if open, without aggression or worry. Okay? If you're new, you could use this. Okay? Look, I'm just getting started, but people I'm working with are making money, and I'd love to introduce you and show you what we're doing. And if it's a fit for you, great. And if it's not, no big deal. That's it. All right. One of my favorites, pyramid scheme, right? So again, you're going to manage the energy, right? So the thing about the pyramid scheme thing is you're going to hear it 2 ways, right? So how are they asking it? Are they asking like, this is one of those pyramid things, Are they asking like, oh, you're doing one of those pyramids like that, like honestly, like, because they don't really know what a pyramid is, and they just heard like all these things are pyramids, So if they're cynical, you just want to be, no, it's not. But you know what? If it may not be a fit for you, I gotta go. I gotta run. So you are, and a lot of times they'll stop you. That's what Ray Higgins says, So if they go away, you go away. Then they have to correct. Right? I said that earlier. So if they're nasty, you pull back. Remember, you're managing the energy. You're gonna be like, no, it's not a pyramid scheme. What do you think I'm doing something illegal? So this is a great one. So they're just generally asking, is this one of those pyramid things? And you're gonna say, well, we don't call it a pyramid thing. This is something where you get to put forth some effort, and much like a real estate broker, you get to get an override of anyone you introduce into the business, right? So with the analogy, you flip them to associating with something they can relate to, even if they don't know exactly how real estate works. Everybody knows about real estate and real estate brokers. So you make an analogy towards a real estate broker, well, like a real estate broker, you get an override on anybody that you introduce to the business and does well, So we teach you to earn. We teach you to earn not just off your efforts, but the efforts of anybody you bring in. If you hear my daughter laughing, I apologize. So again, we teach you to earn not just off your efforts, but the efforts of anybody you bring in. So that's exactly how network marketing works, right? So just like a real estate broker. Let's see. So what if you get the, how much? What if you have made money? What do you do? I mean, you just tell them. You could tell them. Tell them. Like if let's say they're like, well, how much money have you made? And you actually have made some pretty good money. You tell them, but make sure you point to the income disclosure, because reality, most people won't put effort to make that kind of money. You want to tell them that. Look, not everybody's gonna make the money I made, because I was totally, killing it and going after it. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Here's another one. I don't have the money. Okay, this is one of Ray Higdon's ways of I don't have the money. This is one of his courses, like I said. So, one, he said you get this a lot because you have money mindset issues, and or your marketing is sending the wrong message. So I kind of mentioned that before. You got to have the right energy, you got to have the right mindset now, and you got to make sure your marketing's not too hypey, right? So one of the responses he likes is, are you trying to get in, or are you trying to get out? Some people, and they're going to say, like, what do you mean, right? What do you mean? What do you mean? And they're like, well, let me read it to you so I don't mess it up. Some people say that they have say that and they have no interest in joining, but some people say that and if they had the money, they would absolutely join. Which one are you? And so they say, you know what, you got me. I don't really want to join. They're just trying to be nice. They're trying to let you down easy by saying they don't have the money. So if they say, totally cool, let me ask you this. Do you know anybody that does want to make extra money if I showed them step by step how to do it? Right? So now you're trying to get referrals, and you're also opening their eyes, like, whoa, step by step. Show them step by step. So that's a psychological trigger. Show me step by step. You can show them step by step how to make money. Yes, that's what I can do. All right. Anyway, let's see. They do want to join. Then you want to figure out how far off are we. Okay. So let's see. You don't have to battle the full amount. That's what he's trying to say. So how far off are we from making the money? Assuming you don't have a way to access. You battle the difference. You battle the difference. Let's see. Battle any money to join. Is that correct? So then you ask him. So you don't have any money to join. Is that correct? If you can figure out how much they have, so to speak, or how far off they are, then you're only battling that. So what do I mean by that? So there's a couple things. So some people will respond like, well, I have this like emergency credit card or something like that, right? I have this emergency stash. I have this or that, right? But it's only for rainy days. So he has kind of a strong response to this, but hey, man, he's the big guy on campus, right? So who am I to say it's too strong? But so if you've got the cojones to use it, go ahead. If that's your only source, then it might be that rainy day. Maybe it's time to get serious about your finances. When would be a good time for you to get serious about your finances? Let's see, where was I? Let's see, how far? Oh, so they have no way to access money, like they don't have a credit card or anything. So exactly, you asked them actually. So how far off are we? How much money do you have access to? And some only need another 50. So now you're only battling the 50. So that makes it easier battle, right? So if you're only battling the 50, as opposed to like battling the 4, whatever your cost is, right? Maybe it's 200, maybe it's 400. I don't know, but now you're only battling the 50. So it makes it a little easier battle. What's the real battle is what you want to find out, right? So that's one way to handle that money objection. One, I like the one where like you want to get in or get out. And if they want to stay in, but they don't really feel like they don't have the money, then you want to find out like exactly, are they $100 off, $50 off, the full amount, what, All right, so then he came this other objection too, like saturation. Everyone doing it. You want to know your numbers. He said that's the best response. If this is where it comes in handy to know your numbers. You know, like you want to break it down to the ridiculous. Oh man, I heard everybody's doing that now. Everybody's selling that special shake, you know, or whatever. And so you want to break it down to the ridiculous is basically it. So like if you know how many reps are in the country, let's say you got like 39,000 reps in the country. You know, I got how many people in this city? In this, you know, I live in the Chicagoland. So in the Chicagoland, we got what? 4 or 5 million people. I don't even know, to be honest, but 4 or 5 million people in the city. There's 39,000 reps in the whole country, you know, and you know, so let's break it down to the county. How many people are in your county? You know, and he breaks it down. And what he recommends is at least know how many reps are in your entire company, so you can like break it down to the ridiculous, you know. So I don't know what the biggest company is out there as far as reps go in the world, but let's say they have 100,000 reps, or 200,000 reps. There's just too many people out there to say that there's a saturation in anything, right? So let's see. But the other thing he said to keep in mind is the person who thinks of this objection probably not a very abundant thinker. So if they still get negative, then you say, no problem, I got to talk to these other people. You know, again, you want to be good with your energy, right? So let's see. Let's see. I don't have the time. So he likes this one too. He says, oh, wow, you might need this more than I think, more than I thought. And again, it's just pointing out that, you know, not having the time, it's not a good thing, right? It's not some sort of badge of honor. A lot of people think, man, I'm so busy, I'm working so much, you know, and sometimes I think that I have to correct myself, you know, because if you look on paper, yeah, I'm at the office a lot, doing this stuff a lot. So, but you know, that's not some sort of badge of honor, right? Knowing that you are never going to be able to get off that hamster wheel is not like some sort of awesome thing. I don't think so. Let's see. I used to be just like you, so I sought out a way to leverage my time. When I bring someone on board, I earn an override on anything they do and anyone they bring in. So right now, I got people on my team doing meetings, doing webinars, etc. And guess what? I'm being compensated. It's not taking my time. So if you lack time, you can write this stuff down. By the way, you can rewind this, write this down. So let's see. So if you lack time, and this might not be the right one for you, but what you need to do, if you don't have time, is you need to find a way to create residual income, right? So you want to start pointing out the residual income thing to that. Let's see. You need to find an income that doesn't pay you for your time, but pays you over and over for the same effort. You may need it more than I thought. This may not be the opportunity for you, but maybe there's another / better one for you out there. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, you very badly need to find residual income. So you just want to point out. I think this comes to like. Marketers always talk about like kind of like pointing out the struggle or the pain. Like that's the reason you need to do this. You know, if you can't walk more than a block, it's why you should start walking more. You know, if you can't spend more than 2 hours a day at home or an hour a day at home, that's why you need to start trying to do this so you can start freeing up more time. Let's see. So sometimes you get this one. What did you make the first month? So he likes this answer. I actually don't know because my first month was April 2013, or you know whatever date, and I'm still making money from that. It's kind of hard to track, you know, and just leave it at that. So if you haven't made money, you can say something like this. Well, I'm newer, which is an open term, right? But the people are showing me exactly what to do. The people I'm with are showing me exactly what to do so I can make more money. And I can show you exactly what works. It may or may not be a fit for you, and it might not be, and it might not be, but I can at least show you if you like. So you just kind of, again, you're keeping your posture, be confident, manage your energy. So I'm newer, but I'm working with people who are going to show me exactly what to do, and it may or may not be for you, but I can show you, if you like. That's it. So, all right. So then again, I went to another webinar, and this one I had in, it was like a bonus to the course as well, and it was also on closing and handling objections. So you want to be listening. Let's see. Those are all how to close. Closing questions. We don't want closing questions. Oops. Let's see. So let me just give you these closing questions so you can have them, I guess. You can write these down. I'm just going to give you the questions, all right? Just curious, what did you like best about what you saw, heard? Okay. Just curious, what initially had you look at this? Sometimes you can use that one when they say, yeah, I didn't like it that much. So you can ask them, well, what were you hoping to see? Right? So, and then the other thing is, well, just curious, can you even see yourself doing something like this? Can you even see yourself? You're skeptical about them. They're skeptical about the thing. You're skeptical about them. You probably can't do it. No, I'm just kidding. It might be that mean. Let's see. They read it's a scam. Worst thing you could do is get defensive. Oh, really? You read it's a scam? Well, before you join this, I'm just curious. Are you typically affected by opinions of people you don't even know? So you throw it back on them. Make them realize, like, you're just reading something off Google. Again, there's no truth meter on Google, right? Let's see. This goes back to don't be hypey. Universal options. Oh, here's another one. Feel, felt, found. Okay, so what is that? That's when you say, I know how you feel. In fact, I felt the same way. But what I found was that I can get paid for performance. So that's just a simple. But you can do that, with anything. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but I found that I can save a lot of money just by being a customer of this wholesale travel or something like that. Sorry, it's off the cuff. So if you didn't do this, do you have other options to make whatever better? Do you have other options to pay for your kid's school? Do you have other options to take care of grandma? Let's see. The need to make money, not good enough answer. No, why do they need to make money? If you didn't do this, do you have another way to make the money? Right. So it's not the money; it's what the money can do for you. Right. So, all right. Let me go over here. Okay, objection handling. So repeat the objection as a question. You can't answer objections, but you can answer questions. So here, I'm sure you have a reason for saying that. What's the reason? When they say something. See, okay, I just point out, like, I'm not going to cover every single objection. Nobody can cover every single objection. I hear, like, like one time my brother-in-law told me, I heard that kills birds. It's like, what? And he was semi-joking, but it was just like, what? So, and then you could say, suppose I was able to satisfy that concern. In your opinion, do you feel that you would want to move forward? That's the test close, all right, so I'm trying to go through these so I'm not taking too much of your time. It's already been a half hour. Objections, no money. Here's another no money. Let's see. And he said, you get it because they don't see the value because you're selling what it is and not what it does. So there's another reason why you might be getting the money objection. You're trying to sell what it is, like this awesome shake, is made with blessed berries or something. And you're not selling the benefit, which is the shake will give you more energy, stuff like that. So he said, again, you're trying to get in, trying to get out. But he said, you got to be upfront sometimes and say, So you're saying you don't have blank amount in your bank account or any credit card, right? And then how far off we, give options. It's up to them of how they can pay, maybe in 2 weeks, whatever. I hear you. I know you don't have the money, but if you were to come up with the money, where would you get it? So you can find out how they would get it, do you have a way to make money no longer an issue if you don't do this? So again, you're pointing out the fact that them not having the money is probably not a good thing, that they don't have money, that they don't have $200, they don't have $500 for anything. What if their car breaks down? All right. So here's another one on the pyramid objection. He said, you get the pyramid objection. He goes, oh, you're serious? What is pyramid? What is pyramid? So then he goes, I'm sure you have a reason for saying that. Why is it? Never ever get defensive. Make it a joke. So that's another one. Like Pop Warner football. Let me see if I remember this. So, oh yeah. So, I forget, he read this somewhere. He goes, parents put their kids in Pop Warner football. In fact, they pay for it. They pay for it. And a lot of their kids don't end up in the pros. Is that an illegal scheme? So kind of like, again, using the analogies, right? So here's another no time objection. So no time, that stinks. How long will that be a problem? Or do you have a way where it won't be? Are you saying you are spending every hour of the day doing what you love, or do you have a way that you can create that? So you're just pointing out, again, not having the time is not some sort of like awesome badge of honor. I feel like a lot of people say it like, I'm just so busy doing my job, 60 hours a week. And he said the best way to handle objections is, to tell stories. And I've heard other people, I've heard Diane Hockman say this, and the best way to get stories is, one, you're creating your own. Two is, attend events and talk to people and get juicy stories. They work the best because, what occupations, you're prospecting a teacher, a teacher who she joined the company and she's doing really well. You're prospecting an accountant, an accountant, he joined the company, he's doing real well. You're prospecting, whatever, a construction worker, he's killing it now and he's driving a luxury vehicle, So, so you just want to find out at the events all these people's stories, and you can use them, in your objection handling. Okay. Let's see. I understand what you are saying, but I was at the event where a guy gave his speech in sign language. Oh yeah. So he gave this example, where people are like, oh, I don't know if I can do it, this and that, and and he says, and it's a true story. He said he was at an event where the guy gave his acceptance speech and signing. I don't know how to sign, so sorry. That's dumb. But I mean, I just think that's amazing. A guy who's deaf. He's never had a bad phone call. That's what Ray Higdon says, because he can't. But somehow he was still able to create a better lifestyle. Right. That's really what this is about: creating a better lifestyle. The other thing I want to tell you is look up leapfrogging. Ray Higdon has a blog on that. What is leapfrogging? It's a little more in depth, so I don't want to keep taking up all of your time. Yeah, so leapfrogging, I guess I can go over a little bit. So leapfrogging is when they say, I don't know anyone. Okay, so it's, what's leapfrogging? Process of getting your MLM prospect to visualize their existing assets / relationships into a flourishing network marketing business while eliminating their internal evaluation of if they can do the business. The number one reason people don't join is they feel they can't do it. And the step one, again, you can look this up. My notes are pretty good, but it was better on the blog, just to be honest. So step one, ask simple questions. Do you know a blank, i.e. a realtor or an accountant or whatever? Ask about occupations that have success stories in your opportunity. So this is where it's good to have the stories, right? So like, well, do you know any realtors? Yeah. Oh, well, I have a friend realtor, and he is like, he was struggling for a couple weeks, or a month or so, but now that he's, now he's killing it, whatever your story might be, story sell, as they say, right? And then that's step 1. Step 2, give the success story. Step 3, repeat 1 and 2 with other occupations, right? So you can, oh, here, step 2 continued. Okay, so yeah, so give a success story. Ask, how long has the person been a realtor? 1 or 2 years? Perfect. They're probably hungry for more. And then if they've been longer, great. They probably know a lot of people. You know, so you just always pointing out the positive. And then you ask them, do you think they have at least 10 clients that trust them? You know, let's say two want to work with them. You know, and you're drawing the circles. You know, again, the blog post, you can check Ray Hickman's blog post for this. And then continue. Do you think they might? Another way is, you think they might know a couple of people that do the same thing as them, that might want to work with them? Draw more circles. You know, so like now you're drawing the circles, right? When was the last time you did that? So you just keep on going, you know, and just be conservative with the numbers, but you're still going to point out like, whoa, look at this, look at the possibilities, right? Because a lot of people deal in what's probably going to happen and not what's possibly going to happen, and so they deal in a sense of like, you know, is it gonna happen? You know, it's that probably can't happen. So they're like live. They just feel like there's no way it's gonna happen, right? But if you kind of get your mindset to it's possible, then it could maybe happen. You know, so that's what you want to do. You want to get your mind to possible. You know, not probable. And I know it's hard, but you just got to think of what's possible. And sometimes, like I said, I know it's hard, but you just got to do it, you know? So anyway, let's see. We're almost done here, guys. Last one. Repeat 1 and 2, I said, with other. So now they have a small array of names and circles, and they can start to understand. Ask them if they can help them contact those people they mentioned. So you can actually help them with their contacts, you know, so they can get started at this point. If they still don't join, ask if it's okay if you contact them, which usually makes them uncomfortable and more likely to join, because now you're going to get their friends, right? So I also wanted to go over one more way to handle objections, and maybe it's not really a way to handle objections, and this is just from a couple other mentors I heard, you know, and maybe this is better once you're already pretty out there and big, but they were saying, I think it was Terry Lamb when I first heard it, he was like, I don't handle any objections. People don't want to join. They don't want to be part of my marketing system, or they don't want to be part of my team. Okay, you know, it's their loss. So he doesn't bother with like, oh, well, you know, how far off are you with the money, you know, and things like that. He doesn't have time for that, he says. So that's the one way I was saying it might surprise you, is don't handle the objections at all. Just be like, okay, I'll move on to the next person. Take care, have a nice life, you know. And that's posture. That's not getting addicted to the outcome, right? So anyway, that's all I got for you today. That's objection handling. It went a lot shorter than I thought, which is good, because I was trying, and I went kind of fast. I was hoping it wouldn't take forever. I had like all these notes, but I guess I write kind of big. So I hope you got a little nugget here and there. If you did, please share it, you know, and I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, peace. Love you guys. Take care. Remember, together we can do anything. Sorry about my kids yelling and screaming. And hopefully next time they won't. Peace out.